What's up? I'm your host, Inspirational. Chapter 46 is out on Webtoons Monday, March 23rd, 2020. This was recorded when the chapter was considered fast-paced, so if you don't use coins to read, please wait until the day the chapter is actually free, and then come back. This is your only spoiler warning. Now, let's begin. This chapter is more of a continuation of the interactions that we saw between William and Kim back in episode 31, when all three of them, including Lauren, were early at work at 5 a.m. to catch up on paperwork. Back then, I had believed that Kim was up to something because I had assumed that she was a traitor before we found out about Belladonna Davenport, the assassin. We see the aftermath of Harvey's death and how it brings William and Kim closer together. This episode starts off more lighthearted as we see some tension between Kim and William as they show some nonverbal cues of wanting to talk about something from the point of view of Lucas, which is the same point of view as the readers. Lucas steps out to give him some privacy, mask in his grumpy demeanor, and of course Lucas comes back when they're on top of each other, reinforcing the ship that's been running through all of our minds. This is more comedic and happy panels that we haven't seen since the slaughter of episode 40, and was a much needed pace. But we go right into Kim and William called into Captain Herman's office, where Detective March is waiting with the captain. It's interesting how much the section where Herman starts to get more serious about Loon investigations is at the same time that Kieran gets an order to hunt down Loon. Herman has determined that Loon has involvement in both the police and the Phantom Site, so the Phantom Site would also have, this would be a logical conclusion for the Phantom Site to also have reached. Harvey was one of the probably many spies within the police department, and Herman doesn't seem to be associated with Phantom Site because this investigation that he requests of Kim and William is to spy on their co-workers, and it's more about Herman holding a grudge against Loon for making more progress than him. Also, Detective March claiming that none of his detectives are involved in Loon could be right, but I mean we know there's only 2 people involved in Loon, and it's not any of the detectives currently working with March. But this leads to the suspicion that one of his detectives probably works with the Phantom Site, because how else would that the scar guy on the face actually escape? Although we had an idea why Herman was being such an annoying prick to Lauren, Kim and William actually tell us that he might be trying to use this to one-up Lauren's uncle for making chief over Herman back in the day, and that capturing these criminals/vigilantes will give him a promotion. Kim has a sneaking suspicion that Lauren is part of Loon, and we have seen the cracks in Lauren's behavior at work since she spends all night out investigating. After her first meeting with Kieran, Lauren started to get really quiet at work and was even compared to Lucas in episode 8. The flashback in this episode comes from episode 13 when Kim claims that Lauren looks like a corpse with a wig on it. Even with such a typical expressive and bubbly nature of Kim, this has a very stark contrast to this callback when Kim suspects that Lauren is Loon. It's interesting to note that episode 13 is the same exact time the first action of Loon's plan was actually executed. Kim looks for Lauren when Lauren's pulled aside by Kieran in the public in episode 26, so that might have been the second time that Lauren showed some unusual behavior. The last time would be episode 42 when Lauren didn't even know about the murders of Loon's victims and how shocked Lauren was. And Lauren's excuse of leaving early because she was coming down with something was very unlike her. We will just have to pay more attention to William and Kim's interactions, not within the next couple of chapters, since it'll probably take some time for them to start investigating. That's all for this chapter. Make sure to heart the chapter on Webtoons every time you finish reading to finish reading, and comment to be a part of the community. Subscribe to get access to these reviews every week. My social media can be found by searching Inspirational on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Shout out to my designer. You can find his work on Instagram at JatinV_photography. See you all next time.